Hey, what's up guys, Bajheera here. Wanted to bring you some Warlords of Draenor warrior updates, and for this video, I'm going to be going over some of the ability and talent changes that have come out over the past week or so. Now please keep in mind, this is probably all very subject to change, but I did want to show this information to you as it's coming out. So, the first thing that I noticed from watching this video that I will link in the description is that there is no more overpower. How do I feel about that? Kinda undecided. Like I said, I don't want to freak out about things too bad. Overpower has, for a long time, been a pretty staple ability of the ARMS spec, and without it, it's going to be a little bit interesting to see how ARMS functions. I mean, I think Warlords of Draenor is going to be a massive scaling down in lots of ways, including your abilities. So you can look through your abilities tab here, and you'll notice that some other things are missing. For example, on this first page alone, you don't see Hamstring, you don't see Disarm, you don't see Cleave, you don't see Demoralizing Banner. So once again, it does seem like Blizzard is trying to not only scale down your health and your items, but also scale down the ability pool a little bit. On this other page, you'll see that you don't have Whirlwind anymore. There are lots of things that are missing, and for example, Skull Banner does seem to be gone, but Recklessness, the tooltip for Recklessness was looking like Skull Banner, so maybe it'll have a increased crit chance and increased crit damage effect to it. All speculation. You'll notice a new ability there, a Readiness Arms. Now what I speculate that has to do with is there's a talent that you have later on down the line at level 100 called Anger Management, which means that for every 15 rage that you spend, it reduces the remaining cooldown of your readiness affected abilities by 1 second. What those readiness affected abilities are, I'm not sure, but there's the information for you. Do with it what you will. So you will notice, all in all, the abilities tab does seem to be pared down a little bit. That will definitely affect the gameplay. How exactly? We'll have to find out. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of changes in terms of the glyphs tab. One thing I did want to show you about Hamstring, it is still in the game. I believe it has a passive ability. Now this is taken from the footage that I'll link in the description for you. The warrior charges the mob, applies a Mortal Strike, and after the Mortal Strike is applied, the Hamstring debuff pops up as well. So that's good to know. Now this, my friends, is the current version of the warrior talent tree. Some things to notice, okay? Stormbolt is now a level 60 talent in with Shockwave and Dragon's Roar. So that means that Blade Storm has been moved up to level 90 talents, which means that you can no longer run Shockwave Stormbolt spec, but you could run something like Shockwave Blade Storm, which you could not do before. How that affects gameplay, we'll have to find out. Once again, I do feel like Warlords of Draenor is making an attempt to scale down the amount of abilities classes have, and definitely the amount of CC. This means that warriors are no longer going to have 2 reliable stuns, at least in this build of the talent tree. However, it does open up a lot of room for creativity in terms of your spec. And now at the bottom of this talent tree, you'll also notice a level 100 talents. Anger Management, we talked about that. Ravager seems like a targeted AoE dot ability. Ravager reads that you throw a whirling axe at the target location that inflicts 3,000 damage to enemies within 8 yards every 1 second, and it lasts 15 seconds. Now the last ability on that level 100 talent tree is Ignite Weapon. Now this seems really interesting because it replaces Heroic Strike, but it ignites your weapon and makes you deal 100% weapon damage as fire, and causes your auto attacks to deal fire damage for 10 seconds. This ability is not on the global cooldown because it does replace Heroic Strike. So that sounds like an ability that you're probably going to want to have active pretty much all the time. It does cost 30 rage, but it sounds like you may be having more rage available to use because, let's think about it, there is no more Hamstring, so there's no Hamstring cost. There is no more Overpower, so there's no more Overpower cost. Both of those abilities don't really cost that much rage to begin with. However, really all that you seem to be dealing with right now on the Arms Warrior damage rotation is you charge in there, you Mortal Strike them, it applies your bleeds, it seems to apply your Hamstring, and of course it applies your healing debuff. At which point, you maybe want to use Colossus Smash, and then after that, there's really not much else to do except perhaps Thunderclap, or Slam to spend your rage, or in this case, maybe use Ignite your weapon to deal more damage. Now, once again, I'm going to sort of bring this video to a close with the reminder that all of this is still very early information. Things are subject to change, if not certain to change. So, take it all with a grain of salt, but if you do enjoy these Warlords of Draenor updates and news videos, please be sure to let me know in the likes and in the comments, and I will be more than happy to make more for you in the future. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace!